Good morning, parents. Let's take a few moments to center ourselves, be still, and set our intention for the day. But before we dive into the content, please do show your support by liking and subscribing to this channel. Not only does it encourage us to continue making more content, but it also helps our videos to rank higher and be made available to more parents. Let's take a deep breath, let go of any negativity, and fully connect with yourself in this present moment. So today we continue in Matthew 5, picking up at verse 21. Matthew 5, verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. So here we're saying things that this day and age we take very lightly, kind of the words that we say. We say, oh, they know I was just joking, or I was angry, or we justify it. But God here is saying that the words that we speak, he takes very seriously. Somewhere else in the word it says, there is no idle words. Every word that we speak, we will have to give an account for. So words extremely impactful. And we know in this day and age with all the research that's going on that they used to have a saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But today we understand that it's better the other way. We can heal easier from a physical wound than we can from an emotional one. And this is why we are walking around with so much turmoil and torment, and based on what things that people have said and things that people have made us feel. Somebody calls you a fool, how does that make you feel? And they say, oh, I was just joking. How did that even come to mind for you to even speak that? There has to be some truth to it. And there goes our mind in this downward spiral of negative thinking about ourselves, adding to our negative self-talk. So we want to not be the ones adding that load to someone else, easily calling them fool or making them feel foolish or being sarcastic with the tint of the eye and the body language that we can do sometimes that we may not physically say the words, but how we engage, yes, we reflect in the words that we have not spoken. So we want to just be more conscious of that, knowing that Christ takes that very seriously. And sometimes we see this and we kind of skip over that it says without cause. So it's not that a Christian cannot be angry, but we want to make sure that is not without cause. Somebody does something, something happens, absolutely, it's a human emotion. How you're angry, you can control that. You can't control what they did or what happened, but you can control how you respond to it. And anger is an appropriate response in some cases, but possess your soul. Make sure you maintain control as you navigate and express yourself in those situations. Matthew Henry commentary notes, all rash anger is heart murder. Heart murder. So that's what we were just talking about. That it's like an arrow directly to the heart of the person. And that is unacceptable to Father because he knows the lasting impact that that will have on that individual. It says, Raka is a scornful word and comes from pride. Thou fool is a spiteful word that comes from hatred. Malicious slander and censures are poison that kills secretly and slowly. Christ told them, however light they made of these sins, they would certainly be called into judgment for them. So we really want to watch our words, understand that your words have more power, power to build up and power to tear down. Your words could devastate someone, especially our youth, especially our kids. So we want to be really careful in that state, no matter what has happened, that we learn to take that pause and not say anything. In that moment, don't speak, because we cannot take back words once they're spoken. And even all the work we want to do is going to be a very, very tough way to be able to kind of clean that up. Prevention is always better than a cure. So we want to go forward, not causing harm, not with a word. And we commit that. And we want to be able to ask the Holy Spirit to help us with that pause, that before we speak, before we act, before fill in the blank, Holy Spirit, please help us to pause. Help us to come into possession of our minds and our souls, that we respond appropriately like the salt of the earth that we are. So Matthew Henry commentary goes on to note, we ought carefully to preserve Christian love and peace with all our brethren. And if at any time there is a quarrel, we should confess our fault, humble ourselves to our brother, making or offering satisfaction for wrong done in word or deed. So picking up on verse 23, Matthew 5:23. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother has aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Agree with thine adversary quickly, while thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. So we're seeing here again that God takes it very, very seriously how we engage with each other. And it notes here, we have no guarantees. We always maybe think, oh, I'll speak to them tomorrow. I'll handle it next week when I see them at the meeting, or fill in the blank. We're taking for granted that we'll have tomorrow, that they'll have tomorrow. So how many times has something happened and someone has passed, and how we left the last conversation that we had with them, if we could take it back, we would take it back. If we could have had that conversation and reconciled, we would have loved to have reconciled. So we want to make sure that we're not taking it for granted that either party has tomorrow. We want to make sure that because we love Christ and because of all that he has suffered and done for us, that we ask for his ability, because it's only really kind of our emotions, our pride, that kind of make us delay. So we ask God for for the Holy Spirit to help us, to urge us, to propel us, to help us, to open up the opportunity, to help us have the conversation, to know what to say, how to say it, and to go in prepared, that if I go in to reconcile, be prepared 50-50, that they may come at a gate or two. They may not be willing to accept an apology or to reconcile at that moment. And that doesn't put you on a tailspin now, because you were already kind of nervous and feeling insecure about having the conversation. And now here they come compounding that how you feel. You go in there with the humility, knowing that you're not going there as a means to an end. You're going there because you feel compelled by your Holy Spirit that that's what he would have you do. We don't obey him based on the perceived outcomes. We obey him because we are obedient children, despite the outcome. So if they do not accept the apology, they do not want to hear anything, they don't want to reconcile, it hasn't healed the situation, then you do the best you can. You've done your part and you put it into his hands. You put it into Father's hands. And you consistently pray earnestly and say, Lord, I've made this mistake. I've hurt this person. I've done whatever it is. Please, can you put your hand on it and help heal these wounds that I have helped cause? And please don't let this person walk around with additional burdens and baggage because of something that I have done. He will honor those prayers because they come from your heart. And he's doing things behind the scenes that you will not know. So you may not in this lifetime reconcile with that person, but you want to have peace that you've done all that you could do in him. If he brings it up again to do something in the future, then you obediently do that. But you don't walk around with constant guilt and shame because things haven't reconciled. I like to say guilt and shame doesn't come from the camp of God. We feel guilt about something, yes. We're ashamed of something, yes, but we don't abide in that state. We do whatever the Holy Spirit has called us to do about it, and then we leave it with him and we go on from day to day, right? So if you have to do something today to reconcile, you got this. You can do this. You are enough, and don't allow the negative mindset. Don't allow that voice in your head to think that because you apologize for something is you condoning what that person did. Those are two completely independent things. Us apologizing is us taking responsibility for our response to the situation. Doesn't mean we are condoning the situation. We want to keep those clear in our minds, and then that will help us to be able to even go forward and do what we need to do today. So may you have the courage. May you open yourself up and say, Lord, is there something that I need to handle? Please bring to mind, and please give me the ability, the opportunity, the courage, the character, whatever it is I need to be able to go forward and be pleasing in your sight in this situation. If you haven't done so already, please, 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 pretty please, do click that thumbs up button to let me know that you see value in this. Also, please remember to check out your app store for our Coaching for Parents app. It has some amazing free content that is going to be invaluable to you as you navigate raising your tweens and teens. And as you go into your day, remember that you are highly blessed, greatly favored, and deeply loved, and that you already are victorious in Him. So go forward today with the expectation of success. And keep your eye open for little treats that He may have already planted along the pathway of this day for you. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, for another moment of meditation.